What up, people?
Back here for Things First, Super Bowl champ Chris Canny is here. What's up,
That's
Chris?
what happened. The lights didn't go out. Canny was just in front of the thing.
Oh, really?
Right. You gonna blame it on me? So now I'm in the clips for the camera?
Absolutely.
True story.
All right, Canny, it appears the end has come for Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh.
Good job, everybody.
He has reportedly requested a trade from the Steelers, this stemming from the fallout of skipping practice the final week of the year and from his rocky relationship with Ben Roethlisberger. Brown tweeted yesterday, "Thank you, Steeler Nation, for a big 9 years. Time to move on and forward." A couple other players weighed in as well. Jalen Ramsey tweeting at Jaguars shrug emoji. And Cardinals corner Patrick Peterson said, "Yo, Antonio Brown hit my line." All right, Canny, what do you think? Which team should trade for Antonio Brown?
Before I answer that question, Jenna, I just want to say that this reflects poorly on everybody involved in this situation. All right, not just AB and Ben Roethlisberger and the rift, which seems to be the genesis of AB wanting to get a trade, but also the people in the Steelers organization, the hierarchy, right? And specifically Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert, their general manager, because they should never let the relationship with their best player and the most productive wide receiver in the National Football League this decade devolve to the point where it's irreparable. Like, it should have never gotten here.
And I think everyone agrees with that, and I think we're going to spend a bunch more time on that later on. But is there a specific team in your mind or a few teams that you say AB would put them over the top, or that their first call this morning should be to Pittsburgh?
Okay, well, here's what I'll say. First of all, there are going to be a few motivating factors, right? The need and then cap space to be able to facilitate this kind of trade, but also being able to have the draft capital. So you look around the landscape of the NFL, who has multiple high picks, multiple picks in the first couple of rounds of the draft. Now, I know you might want to point to some AFC teams. Nick, I know you mentioned the Colts earlier in this. They have a ton of draft picks and a lot of cap space. But if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm not looking to help out somebody that I'm probably going to have to face in the playoffs. So I'm thinking about the NFC teams. And of those teams, you look at the Green Bay Packers. They got multiple first-round picks. They got that pick from the Saints. I think it's 30th overall. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They got 3 picks in the first 57 this year. So I know that they could be in a situation that they're looking to add another playmaker for Carson Wentz.
The one thing I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say the one thing the Eagles don't have that you said is the other part of it is they have negative cap space.
But they're going to clean that up. Between now and the start of free agency, that'll get cleaned up. They'll probably trade Nick Foles. They'll probably let some guys go. They're going to create some cap room. And you have to watch those teams that are going to position themselves the next few weeks to do that. Now, I think there is an artificial deadline with this because the Steelers owe AB a $2.5 million roster bonus on March 17th. So you'd think that if they're going to trade him this offseason, that would probably get resolved 5 weeks before they have to pay that roster bonus
Just take a quick step back and refresh for the audience just what needs to happen financially. What kind of hit the Steelers would take by trading him before his contract?
Listen, the Steelers cap hit for Antonio Brown this year is almost identical if he's on the team or if he's not on the team, assuming he's traded by March 17th. Now, if the difference for them is obviously if he's on the team, he has a cap hit each of the next 2 years as well, but you get the production. If he's not on the team, you get zero production there. So that you free up no cap space, but you don't cost yourself any cap space is the easiest way to put it by trading Antonio Brown. Now, I think one of the things the Steelers have working in their favor, as far as making him an attractive trade piece, is his contract is very friendly. 3 years, $12 million per season in an era where mid-range #1 wide receivers get $16 million per year, and the top of the market is $18-19 million per year. He's the most productive.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. I don't look at it that way.
Because you think he's going to demand a new deal the moment he gets to where he's going.
I think. Well, no, why would he go anywhere else for not wanting new contract demands?
Well, I know he's going to want a new deal, but I'm just what I was leading up to and what I was going to ask you is, do you think whomever trades for him is trading for him anticipating that they will give him a new deal? Because with 3 years left, and once he gets traded, he will lose a lot of leverage. Like, it's very tough to be traded to a place and immediately say, you have to give me a new deal, or what? What is the recourse that Antonio has as the player?
Sometimes I just like to use common sense, all right? He's very comfortable in Pittsburgh. All his guaranteed money is gone. Drew Rosenhaus represents him, I still think, because AB's been firing people. A couple people that I know work with AB been fired in the last 6 months because he's making a change as far as his career. But it doesn't make sense. you have to sign him to a contract extension. And given the intel coming out, there's all kind of good articles, all right? If you want to read some good stuff on AB, just go online and read about what he has done to the Pittsburgh locker room. If you think if you don't give him a new contract, that's the guy you're getting. So you got to give him a new contract, and if you don't think there's going to be some new money included in that, then you're looking at something totally different than the way I look at it.
Yeah, I think it has to be a wink and nod agreement when you make the decision to trade for AB in this kind of circumstance, right? Because Pittsburgh is one of the most stable organizations in the National Football League, but it hasn't looked like that the last couple of years, and that's because you have Antonio Brown and the fractured relationship between he and Ben Roethlisberger, but also with what's going on with Le'Veon Bell and wanting to get paid on a long-term deal and them consistently franchise tagging him. So I think that there are a lot of moving parts within the organization, but in terms of what AB is going to want, he wants to go somewhere where he can be a star and he can be on display and not be challenged by anybody else. That's not what the Pittsburgh Steelers offered him. That's going to be a part of what he's looking for. But also, to CeCe's point, there's going to have to be some more monetary compensation in that. Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about what teams have the draft capital, are willing to do that, and have the system in the situation where he would actually make a good fit.
Listen, I disagree with Canty as far as I don't think the Steelers, if it's even, sure, ship him to the NFC. If you have two offers, you look at as the same. But I think the Steelers have to take the best available offer. If you've got, for example, the Colts offering you the 26th pick and Green Bay's offering you the 30th pick, I'd rather deal with maybe I got to play him in the playoffs and have the four better spots in the draft.
Why would you want to do that? You're trying to compete for a championship with Ben Roethlisberger. You're probably going to have to give him a contract extension.
Yeah.
Why would you think to trade him to the Colts, a team that probably is going to be in the conversation?
And there's probably going to be more than one team. If that was their only offer, I can understand that. But I'm not helping Andrew Luck. And that AFC thing, I think that will play a part in there, because also there are going to be a number of people trying to get involved in this. So it's not going to be, I believe, just one or two teams.
To answer your question, why would I do that? I would want to take the best offer possible, because the Steelers, guess what the Steelers got to worry about? Not who they're going to play in the AFC Championship game, winning their division, getting back to the playoffs, what type of team they're going to have without Le'Veon Bell and without Antonio Brown. My best way to get back into the tournament, to give myself the best chance to get Super Bowl
So what if Cleveland
7,
makes you the best offer? What you going to do then?
And I trade them to Cleveland, and I deal with them twice a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, we've seen guys trade within the division. We've seen teams.
Yeah, who were those players, though?
Well, I mean, we saw the New England Patriots trade Drew Bledsoe a year after making him the highest paid player in the league to the Buffalo Bills. We have seen, I mean, that's just one example. We saw the Philadelphia Eagles trade Donovan McNabb to Washington within the division. Those are quarterbacks. Like, we certainly have seen it done. Some teams have a philosophy.
No player in his prime like AB.
No.
We have never seen anyone like AB be traded to a rival and or a divisional team in recent
But isn't it fair to say we haven't seen a player of AB's caliber, aside from Khalil Mack, traded, period, in recent
I just believe it's our responsibility. I wouldn't trade him to Cleveland. Cleveland would be a great spot for him, and I wouldn't trade him to Indianapolis. I believe there's other places. I would trade him to other places besides those, because the AFC thing is real. Eventually, I'm going to have to go through them, and I'm not making it easier for AB either. I'm not sending him somewhere. I'm like Greg Popovich. I'm going to do what's best for the organization.
100%.
So wherever you end up, you requested the trade, all right? So I'm going to send you whatever's best for the organization. I believe it's out of the AFC.
I would still say Buffalo. If he's disgruntled, he's disgruntled.
Jenna's just
You started your career in Buffalo.
I did, and I love Buffalo, but I'd love to see him.
Clearly you love Buffalo. Send him to Buffalo. Stick it to him. I love Buffalo. Good people, Buffalo.
Coming